from St. James.
Okay, Khadija, can you pack your bag for me, please?
Kid, because it's night and insects come out at night. So you have to have backup for them. Flashlight and batteries. If the flashlight you save batteries, and a map, lighter or matches, wipes or tissue. That's
good going. I don't want to discuss as yet. Let me hear what Hanover, Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth has. Can you give me 1 second, please, while the other three parishes think about it?
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Berkeley.
And Davia Clark from St. Elizabeth, I'm sure. I'm sure she would want to give that a shot.
All right, so you can continue. I'm back. Next parish.
All right, so while Andavia is getting herself ready, Javon, there are some responses in the group. So I see one person indicating that sleeping bag should be added. Allergic medication should also be included.
Okay, so that person is assisting with St. James response.
Right.
That's accepted.
All right, one person. This person is from Westmoreland. A person is saying that you need to be careful with purchasing and administering medication to pathfinders.
To discuss after I've heard from the 4 parishes, because I feel like if I do one parish, then the next parish may get all of them right. So let me take all the parishes, just all pack our bags.
All right, so MITs, come on, please respond.
I think basically I'm seeing most of the things that I would include in the hiking. So I will just reaffirm those things that I'm already seeing. Right, so I don't have anything right now that I would add.
Alright, no problem. And Daniel, where are you from? As far as you're representing? St. Elizabeth and Hanover. Alright, so we don't have any representative from that parish tonight. Alright, so let's continue. St. James, the water bottle that we carried, there was no water in it. Not sure where you're going to get water from, but there was no water in it. I realized you packed a lot of medication, and I was wondering if you were carrying kids with a lot of ailments, because I realized you packed your first aid kit and you pack about visited by the nurse, and for persons, not even the Panadol that sell over the counter, we should not take it upon ourselves to give anyone at all, because we do not know their reaction. One banana chips, and one duplex biscuit or one peanut biscuit cannot take you nutritional. On this list of items then we have, so we need to also be cognizant of that fact. I realize no one said choose everything, but compass and a map of the area is also important. Or know the area that we are going. Not because we walk through every day, but we must always have a map. And that must always be shared with your leadership, or we won't take, replace that. And everything else we may carry. But in first packing, a first aid kit is not something that should be big and heavy. If you're going as a master guide, the little roll-on bottles that we have, things where a first aid kit can hold in that. You can even actually know where to get them, and they are actually on the trail with you, and you know where to find them. So that is something that we need to take notice of. That as leaders, we're taking everything. If that is your on hike, those things are put aside. Is to complete the hike and ensure that everybody reaches from point E safe and sound without any damages being done. As leaders, we take friendship and we put family aside. It is serious business. Not saying that you cannot have fun on the trail, but it is serious business when we take the flora or the fauna first. If no disposal facilities are available, pack out what is. Always follow and obey the rule of your leaders. Stay together with your group and don't stray. I say this for more than one reasons. Strain. In a hike, they're normally feel like you're fast, you feel like you exercise every day. Don't be the one to always be at the head. Your aim is to ensure that you get there for the rest of the night. Or you just feel like enough and you want to run ahead. No. Stay together. As master guide, the hike is as fast as the slowest person. But set your pace. Know your pace that you can manage and walk at your pace. Because if you try to keep up, you will get tired very fast, not want to end, and will add stress and strain. Or one bag where we went down there. Or one cow went down there and we will end up in a stay something that we need to inherit as master guides and as leaders as we lead our pathfinders. Respect both public. So the journey may be long, but you will make it. There'll be rest stops. There'll be time you get to catch up with your friend, crack a joke or two, so that you can have a little more energy or more zeal to be on the trail. It's just to make us stronger. Help others with their necessities. This is a very hard one to digest, because some persons think that they need to carry the interest. By the time you start a walk for 5 minutes, you get heavy. And we know me, our friend, that we pack what we need. Class. Once we start, although we may get one drinks and one peanut outside, you should be able to carry it on your back. Do not play games that can hurt others, and we all need to get safe to where we are. And
all right, yes, Javon, there's a question in the chat.
Master guys go halfway. We allow nobody to drop them at the location. That's not a part of our journey. As master guides, once we pray and the leader said we are on our way, that means you've started. And if you start it, by right, you must finish it. Doesn't matter if your aim is to get to the end. And as master guides, a soldier or a cadet or rough train to get there. So we're not going to say, come on, I need to walk up. We're not going to leave you. But we want you to have the momentum, the discernment to say, yes, I've started at 8 p.m. and I am going to end it at 2 a.m. Or I will finish as long as it does not affect my health. So, the questions are concerned, Madam President?
Question here. Walking on the high matter the fact that is my real relative at the spot at the time.
Alright, so Dave
And my brother might be disobeying the orders or the the person need to move and obey because they think that boy is
need to decide on principle first and good Christian behavior. Since it is that you are to prevent who you think is able to deal with the situation and you do not try a worst case scenario that will leave.
I really like what you said in the fact that you might have other leaders
normally come across a bit touchy.
I have a question upon the private property. Say we have a map, but it was not on the map that we have.
Is scout by a scouting team the location that they're going to enter on if they can. Trail. Or you got lost. If you got lost, then you need to, rather by right, you should not have been lost. You should have stayed on the trail to continue on your path. However, all private property, in quotation, permission is always given or requested before the actual hike is being done. So if you should go on a site and see the sign, trespassers will be prosecuted, then the leader assigned to the hike would have done their research, been given. If it was not given, then the leader of the hike would not have taken that route to lead the master guides through that route. Does that answer your question, Kadisha?
Okay, thank.
Alright, I think.
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Alright, you're welcome, Kadisha. I think I saw Shaquille. There was someone else that raised your hand. Are there any more questions in the chat?
I think you alluded to that a while ago as well.
Us as master guiding trail need to do is ensure that we read and we understand the trail that is being given and follow the leaders, because if we are traveling with 100 master guide or MITs, then there are actually no less than 5 leaders that are in that group who would have either gone on the trail. Master guiding training, then we need to take the route of understanding the trail that would have been sent to us, or if you have questions, you ask about it before, once it is that you would have gotten it before the hike would have started. Contaminated water. So if nothing is living in the water, if you cannot find any signs of life in the water, it is very likely to be unfit for drinking. If plants and animals cannot live in the water, it may contain poisonous chemicals. And the opposite of this is true. If it is that you find living organism in the water, that means situation that we get somewhere and there is living organism in the water and we have no other option, then we will drink is dead, then that water will do more harm to you than good for your body. Oil and film on surface. Runoff from roadway can deposit petrol oil in the water. Also tastes bad. Right? So those are 3 months. And we see little insects in there. And we throw it off because we say no good. But if it comes a time or we're at a location, there's the only water there, make it, bless it. You have the time to boil it on this item. Alright. We know that we're losing energy, 8 hours, but immediate energy. So, and when I say energy, or utilize other energy stuff that can help us. So maybe glucose, maybe orange, a peanut, and those stuff will affect us. And also, get an energy bar, get a granola bar, get something that will take you. And we never ever leave our water. When you have water as you go along, because your lip and mouth just need to be wet to give you that boost and that energy to go on. Water. I think it's the 1 liter that we would always walk with, and everything that you carry, be it on your back, should always be free. So ensure that you choose your diet and what you need to take so that your body can be fueled in the right and proper way for the high conditions that you'll be going through. So it is always important to eat right and to eat the correct stuff while you're going on a hike. And my suggestion is normally to eat before the hike, not much. So you're not gonna eat a big plate of vegetables and full yourself. No. You're going to ensure you eat light to start the hike. Just ensure that when you eat before the hike, are comfortable when you are about to leave out. So if you eat nutritional food, then all you'll need for your hike or on the hike is energy items that will take you through, and then by the time you finish burning off the actual food that you have ate before the hike, then you will start your body will start feeding on energy, and by the time you're finished with that, then you're back home and ready for a good meal again. Question: if you were to do a 10-mile hike, tell me 10 things that you will need. Anyone want to take that up? Have that.
Power boots, food, proper clothing, backpack, compass, repellent, map, first aid kit. I see a lighter.
Only once it was mentioned that a sleeping bag is also necessary, but it is necessary. You can add it under the want. It is not needed because normally we may end up at a location that has a shelter, and with that shelter, it will provide us with option to rest our backs, and we don't need our Posturepedic at the moment. This was added, and you're on your way to being a very great master guide. All right, so we have packed our map. As master guide, there's a specific map that we use. Maybe a big word. We may have seen it for those who have done geography, but it's a map that is called topographical map. Tells us where the hills are, how steep they are. They also show a good topographical map will also show roads and also show trails, which is all planning. And topographical maps can get very detailed. In regards to this picture that you see, sure, all you know about this map is that it's a map of Jamaica. We don't know nothing else. Nothing else is explained on it because it's a blank map. But for you to understand the key, for you to understand, you will see a bridge, and we need to know how to give direction as master guide. So we can't be writing up Gundabon SDA Church and then you pass Tony Shop and then writing all those names. What you'll do, there are specific signs that on the map has some good landmark. As master guides, we need to know how to give directions. And I'll add to that by saying that when it is that we're giving directions, as master guides in tree, and do not want to hear us saying, just right around the corner, or after you pass the shop, we need to tell the stone in the road, because the big stones are landmark. Landmarks are something that you cannot miss. And as master guides in training and master guides, we need to be very clear and specific in regards to when giving directions, and knowing the universal signs. Whenever we see them, then we will know. And on this item that you're seeing here, then you realize that there are some that are given. I'll pause and I'll take your notation, Gabriel Powell. All right, so maybe we lost Gabriel, or Gabriel is not ready. Every map, for us to understand the map, it has to carry a key. And as a part of this assignment, we'll be adding a map. In that map, you need to give a key so that it can be understood, because we do not want to see that are there. So in additional to the final question, in the reproduction of this honor, we want you to draw a map of from the town center to the Seventh-day Adventist church that you attend. So if it is that, you're going to draw a map from Hopewell Town to Hopewell SDA church that you attend.
Lucy Town.
Or Lucy Town. We're not going to draw every corner. We're not going to draw every turn. But we need to see the important landmarks that are whole membership at. Do not choose the closest church in the parish, because the one that is easier to draw. So the church that you attend, your map needs to have a label. You need to have from point A to point B. It also needs to have the key so that we can understand that there's a bridge that you went to. There was a shop, if you want to use a shop, a very important shop that you pass on your way. The church that you actually did. And we know that and the final thing is planning a hike. In planning a hike, then research is normally done. So we normally put a scouting team together. It will maybe scout a month good for hiking. We'll ask for permission from the local police in the area. Let them know that a group of 200 persons will be going through the area on the 15th of July, and we're letting them know they know our start are there in regards to the location that we're going through in doing the hike, so that they can. The hospital is normally notified for anyone who is on the hike or who is on the trail. There's always a standby vehicle for anything that may happen, worst case scenario. So there's always a plan put in place. You need to have all of these things in place. You need to get permission from the people and mother and father of them attending the camp, because we know times are very serious, and out for the night, permission form is necessary. We also may need to get, or we will need to get medical information also of the child that you're taking out, or everyone who is on that scout, because you're ensure that the master guide the area coordinator who is in charge of camping and scouting actually knows. So it has to go to the conference negotiation. We are just doing an overnight thing. It takes planning. Your pastor must approve it. As that we take this serious and we ensure that we do all things that is necessary in having a successful hike when we have become directors. And this brings me to the end of the hike in honor
of your presentation. Just a moment. So the question is, how can you tell if running water is drinkable? Asking if the same rules apply as that of dead water. Is it the same rules?
That's a very tricky one. Running water, I'm thinking we can use the three concepts that were given in regards to if there's no film on the water or there's no dead items in the water, then it should be good for consumption, because basically what we don't know will not harm us, because if it is coming from a stream and God forbid there's a dog that dead way upstream and the water is coming down and we drink it, it is worth the Lord will let it do more harm to your body or good. Or even if something that you can add to your first aid kit is charcoal. That works magic, and it will help in the purification of the water. Hope I answered that question clearly.
Okay, are there any other questions, Javon? Any other questions, Javon? All right, guys, if you have learned something and there's no other question, drop a 4 in the chat to show that Javon's presentation was well accepted.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Berkeley was saying, if it is that you have no more questions and you have learned that the presentation was a good one, then you can add a 4 in the chat stating that you have no other questions and you have grasped those thoughts.
All right. So I trust Master Guy Javon Smith, your presentation was well accepted and we have all learned something. Some of us were reminded, some were just knowing for the first time. So guys, that was Master Guy Javon Smith, our honors coordinator. We want to say thank you for your presentation, sir. And we look forward in having other presentations from you and your team. At this time, I recognize that our youth director came on late. Master Jones, we welcome you, sir, along with our AC in charge of Master Guides, and I call her AC Justice Wildemay Levy. We welcome you, ma'am, to our online workshop, and also the other area coordinators. Understand that some of you have been online from we started. We welcome you and we thank you for being us. And also I realize that our federation, well, one of our federation president has been with us. We thank you for joining us. I hope his MIT team is setting. All right. At this time, we might be wondering as MITs, we started the year, COVID came, and we might be wondering, will I be able to become a master guide this year? What will eventually happen since COVID come and take toll of all the happenings of the association? So at this time, we have our president in the person of Master Guide Keisha Davis, and our able AC. Further plans as we go throughout this year to getting you as MITs invested and ready to take on the pursuit of the program. So over to you, AC Levy.
Okay, and we'll entertain questions for clarification. Before I get into that, let me also say thanks to Jevon for making himself available to take us through the hiking honor. But we're working on getting that aspect of it done. So you will be seeing material coming out shortly. You will be notified by your parish vice presidents. You will also see the information being posted on the Youth Ministry's website. And we will try to also get the information out in the West Weekly. So we're going to be utilizing all the available avenues to get the information out to you. The honor workshops that we have online, we are recording with the intention to share with you. Meeting was kept clean, and by clean I mean free of interruptions, which is why we ask that you keep your microphones muted, so it minimizes the need for us to do a lot of editing. So once that is done, we are going to be sharing the recordings so that you can review and prepare your honor folder for submission. All right, we are also working on putting out drill and march videos that you will be able to use at home to carry out those drill movements. Now, with some of the restrictions lifted, the vice presidents are going to be communicating with you, MITs, regarding how best we can facilitate our face-to-face, our churches that can accommodate us, of course, with the minimized numbers, putting all of the sanitation requirements in place to start having our face-to-face sessions again. Our hope is that should be able to have our staff training course pre-test. So by next week, we will be able to confirm with you that date. I know you would have been going through the material, you would have had access to having classes on Zoom, etc. So you would have been preparing for that test that should have been the Sunday in August. Also want to share with you that we are hoping that we will be able to have our investiture service in what are we able to cover, but the intention is to still go ahead with our investiture service in November, and that you will hear some more information about. So at this time, what I want to do is to encourage you to continue to work on your honors, continue to work on your assignments, participate as best as possible in the online training that will be done, and also whenever the opportunity arises for a face-to-face session, that you can participate in those. The onus is going to be on you MITs to ensure that you are in every possible way that we can. Your parish persons will also be assisting you. You are a part of a WhatsApp group. We ask that you post your questions to your parish representatives so that we can address whatever concerns you might have. All right, so those are the plans that we have in place at this time. I know it came to me some time ago as it relates to whether or not we will have camp this year. That is to be decided. Again, we are looking to see the progress that we're making as it relates to COVID. But if we will not be able to have camp in the normal sense, we will be looking at making some adjustments so that you're able to complete your camping skills requirements. So you will get some more information on that as well.